Comrades, Lal Salam. Greetings from the Workers' International Network. Some of you may remember when 3 decades ago, following the collapse of the USSR in 1991, one capitalist commentator crowed, "This is the end of history." I think we'd all agree that he was a little premature. Since then, we've seen more than our fair share of history. The recurrence of nightmares that we have been told have been relegated to ancient history: slump, plague, war. There have been no major economic depressions since the 1930s, no worldwide pandemics since the flu of 1918, no threat of world war since 1945. This was the age of liberal democracy. Just look at the world now: slump, plague, war. Capitalism has plunged humanity into catastrophe. And even if they could somehow escape these deadly immediate consequences of capitalism, still they doom humanity by choking and poisoning and plundering the environment. But not everyone is complaining. Just in the 2 years since the start of the global pandemic, the world's 10 richest men have seen their global wealth double to $1.5 trillion. That's 1.5 million. That's 10 people. I did try to translate that figure into crores and I just gave up. There's only one way out for humanity, and that is the socialist revolution. And as world capitalism writhes in its agonies, we can see in front of our eyes the oppressed of the world rising to their feet as never before in history. We're witnessing the labor pains of the future worldwide Workers' Party. Its birth pangs can be detected stirring in the debates raging today in workplaces, on public squares, on street corners, in shanty towns, and occupied public spaces across the continents. Just across the border from where you are now, you saw not once but repeatedly the biggest general strikes in world history. 25 crore Indian workers on strike, alongside the siege of Delhi by 3 lakh farmers. But that was no isolated incident. We're in the midst of a worldwide uprising, much greater than 1848 or 1918 or 1968. From Bogota to Beirut, from Quito to Khartoum, from Minsk to Mumbai, from Paris to Santiago, lakhs have been marching, mobilizing, striking, and above all, engaging in a hothouse of political debate. We can be sure that their discussions will have at least as much to teach us as whatever abstract lessons we may have gleaned from our study of the textbooks. The first study of socialist activists is to listen, mingle, talk, interact, exchange ideas, learn, and draw conclusions from their experience. But the crying need of the hour is a new living international, drawing together the movements and aspirations of the masses into a common program and a common strategic plan. The creation of a world party of the working class is not at all an abstract or unreal idea. Every day on every continent, we see new evidence that such a party is straining at every nerve to be born, in the uprisings shaking every continent and the mass assemblies reclaiming the public squares. There's an instinctive straining towards unity and coherence and organization. The world is crying out aloud for a united mass party of the working people and the youth, stretching across the globe, the creation of a genuine mass socialist international. Its hour has come. Now, the Workers' International Network is actively putting together the first building blocks of such an international. We hold weekly Zoom discussion meetings at which comrades from up to 25 countries on 4 continents participate. We've heard direct first-hand eyewitness reports from activists fresh from the uprising in Belarus, the Clovers strike in South Africa, the mass demonstrations in Sao Paulo, the Black Lives Matter movement in Louisville, the Gilets jaunes in Paris, the class struggles in Beirut, Tunis, Delhi, and countless more. The Workers' International Network has been intimately associated with you, comrades of the struggle, ever since its inception in the 1980s. I was privileged to visit you Pakistani comrades countless times in the course of 4 decades, and it was a special honor to me to attend your magnificent Congress in November 2018. I said then, and it was gospel truth, that at that Congress I felt that I'd somehow fallen into the pages of Trotsky's History of the Russian Revolution, or perhaps through a time warp into a Congress of the Bolshevik Party. Comrades, you are making history. Work with us to finish the job. Inqilab Zindabad.